Yeah, so Lord of the Rings. Not as good as I'm personally I think Lord of the Rings kind of sucks compared to Game of Thrones. So where the hell were we? Game of Thrones. Lord, Kinky. 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 Okay, not kinky. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Okay, fine. Game of Thrones is not as good as Lord of the Rings. Done. Fuck you. No, 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 no. Calm down, boy. Calm down, boy. No, I was thinking about it. I did not try and call him a furry. You look at him. He looks like he's 30. Hold on. I don't look like I'm 40. Fuck all y'all. Fuck all of you. So, I'm 27, alright? Alright, so, you were stuck in the bowels of... Alright. Alright, so, starting the game. Stop defying me. I am God. A god. A demigod. A saint. A patron saint of metal and nerddom, okay? I have achieved enlightenment like the Buddha. Alright, enough stupidity. Alright, so, you escape from hell, you kill the dragon, recovered a magical artifact, and let's enter the scene. You are rising from the bowels of hell through the flames and the damnation. You're floating upward. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You're rising from the pits of fire. The devils are throwing their pitchforks and their arrows, their poison arrows at you, but they keep on missing. You're on the wing, and you're being carried for the wings of what appear to be angels, rising from the bowels of the nine hells. And then something weird happens. A large flash happens, and you find yourselves alive again and in a tavern filled with mostly dwarves, elves. You're in a tavern, it's a mix of elves, gnomes, dwarves, all getting drunk and celebrating. They don't seem to notice you. A dwarf looks at you. What'll it be there, stranger? What do you be? What do you have? He pulls out some beers. On the house! It's a holy holiday today! No anime. Oh, we're celebrating the most recent victory of the Empire of Solamnia. versus the dragon armies. Kinda. So, you're surrounded by... So, you're here to join the celebrations. It's been 1 year since the dragon armies of Tarkhesis were defeated. Timey-wimey. Doctor Who reference. Timey-wimey. Time passes differently in the multiverse, throughout the multiverse. Here you go. Polars it for you. Everyone, both of you roll me Constitution. All three of you. Everyone wants to drink, roll me Constitution.
18.
But so you're not drunk. You two now have a disadvantage of 2 on all your rolls. -2 on all your rolls. Yeah. 3 turns. So as the day goes on, the village is gallivanting. Elves are playing fishing games with dwarves. There's a fishing contest. There is a local group of mages traveling through the village, selling their wares and their magical goods. There's fireworks going up. It's like the 4th of July from the Shire from Lord of the Rings. Yeah. What do you guys want to do? There's vendors all over the place. Dwarves and gnomes selling their goods. Alright, you're competing against 4 dwarves. Careful. Roll. Alright. Round 1! Roll me a Constitution again. Just Noah. Yeah, you make it. Just because you plus it, you make it. You don't get drunk. 2 of the other dwarves do. Alright, now it's down to the final 2. Come by that dice. So, round 2. He drinks his beer. Damn! He falls down drunk and pukes his guts out. And then the gnomes grab a giant drinking hat and put it on your head. And they hook up 2 kegger-sized beers to your head. They put 2 giant jugs of beer and ale onto the drinking hat, and you drink it. You're drunk for the rest of the day. This is gonna be fun. What else does anyone else want to do? Well, there's a fishing contest. All right, so you enter the harbor. It's this entire village is sitting in the harbor of a massive lake. Think like Superior, Michigan. And there's fishing boats all over the place, mostly gnomes and elves who are fishing, and they're pulling in some eels. So, if you guys want to be a team in this fishing thing? Mm-hmm. You two? Okay, roll me. What should I roll for, like? Roll me intelligence. The fish avoid you. You picked the wrong spot to fish. Round 2. Keep going. You get a few small little bass, but nothing much. What'd you get? You get a few more bass. Yeah, sure. You get a few more bass. So you take what you get, a few bass. That's about it. You return to the fish market, and yes, you may. There's a small gnome who's running a fish butchery on the shore. Well, let's say you have 5 bass. I'd say 6 gold each. Yeah. The rest of the day keeps going on, and then of all things, a joust is going on, of all things. And they're placing bets on the joust. The local Knights of the Solamnic Knights, the guardians of the Empire, are having a jousting tournament, a tourney. And the crowds are going wild and betting entire fortunes on it as their lances smack into each other, they duel. Join. Sure, go ahead. So, sure. You get sponsored by a small gnomon fishery. All right, this is a jousting contest, as in you have to ride a horse. All right. Yes, you have your Velociraptor. Yes. Your Velociraptor is eating a shit ton of fish from a basket. All right. Round one. Give me a roll. You're going up against a 12, let's say a 16 level knight, and you need to score higher than a 16 to win this match. Strength. Higher than 16. It ends in a draw. You both get thrown off the horses. Round two. Another knight gets on his horse. 15. Let's see if you make this. You get knocked off your horse in the night. Get out of here, you strange furry creature. What did you say to me, you filthy fur creature? He gets off his horse and pulls out a sword. I am the lord of this village. You shall respect me. I challenge you to a duel.
Oh shit.
Enough with the drunken. What are you again? Goliath. What race? Enough with this drunken bludger. She challenged my honor directly. She shall face me. All right. We're gonna do rolls. Whoever rolls the highest on each roll, there'll be 4 rounds, and whoever has the most highest number out of the 4 rounds. Yes. He's dueling you, and you're barely keeping it together with your short sword. All right, you cut off one of his paladin arms, one of his like polar pauldrons. You beat me then. You beat me again. All right. What'd you get? How do you want to do this? You're going down like a fury of like Kung Fury, like sort of samurai moves. How do you want to do this? He's not wearing any underpants. The crowd gasp. Huh. I expected it to be bigger. That's what most people in the crowd are saying. So congratulations. Between your win and Sully's draw, you make about 30 gold. Each, yes. 20. As night starts to fall down, the tourney turns into skirmishes. Teams are going up against teams. War games. But in the midst of these war games, you hear a loud shriek. You're just you wander in for an interdimensional portal of some kind. So you all look up from different parts of the town, and you see a large dragon flying over you. Not just one dragon, 5 of them. 5 black dragons. And they're spewing fire across the village. Entire buildings are being burnt down. People are being set ablaze. The local militia is firing arrows, but they're harmless against these dragons. And these dragons are mounted. What appears to be dark knights. Knights in dark armor. Yes. Well, it's more like the dragons are sentient and they're just letting the knights guide them. You maybe could. The militia is in disaster. They're trying to rally for a counterattack. They're firing ballistas. But so far they're not missing. Your ballista is probably the best chance you have taking these units down. They're badly aiming. Who wants to man the ballista? All right, roll me with the disadvantage of 2.
20.
You hit the dragon. You make it fall down a bit, and it falls down to the lake, and splashing in the water. It's a bit injured, but it's out of the fight. The dragons are spreading fear. They stop spreading fire and just spreading fear. And over the horizon, the hill overlooking the village, you see a mass wall of fire and shrieks and all sorts of monstrous creatures through the dark night. An army of creatures of evil. The Dragon Army. This is a different game. Kryn. Dragonlance. But you interdimensionally traveled too. Yeah, so. Yes. This is going to be a tactical game. It's like a renewed assault. There hasn't been a war in over 3 years. Sure, go for it. Roll me wisdom. You make a few garbage fires, but nothing big. Over the horizon, the army starts rushing towards you. It's mostly goblins, humans, but there's a large contingent in the army of a race and species you've never seen before. Dragon humanoids, also known as draconians. And these are humanoid dragon creatures. They're flying in hordes above the ground army. There's like hundreds of them. These dragon humanoids flying towards you, firing arrows down the town militia. Humanoid size, human size. They're like tails, horns, snouts, wings. Think a humanoid dragon. Yeah, with wings. Or Sharpclaw from Star Fox Adventure. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to flee or do you want to rally the village militia? People are fleeing the village. So, who wants to command the defense? All right, roll me charisma. Roll me charisma. Do you want to help with the refugees fleeing, or do you want to fight? You lead the militia, and they launch a volley of arrows, and they knock out several of the goblins and humans, and even a few draconians rushing towards the town. A few dozen, but there's so many. They're still rushing towards you. All right. There is a large fish trading boat run by gnomes who are evacuating refugees. Roll me charisma to get lead people. Most of the villagers don't believe you, and they just run around screaming. Go for it. Sully, what are you doing? All right. So So you're in combat. Oh yeah, here you go. Are you rushing on your Velociraptor? You're a dwarf running a Velociraptor running into battle against goblins. Roll me combat, man. Roll me dexterity. Stamina. Like this is me like for combat proficiency. Roll me dexterity. You rush into battle, but your Velociraptor is kind of full. Its stomach is full of fish, so it's a bit slow. You're not running as fast as you thought you would. You get a few families, but not much. Just a couple of gnome children. Sure, go for it. You get another 5 families of elves and dwarves to join you, and they all rush aboard the Ark. Noah, what are you doing? Lead another charisma. The archers fire again, and they take out another score of draconians in the air. These winged lizard creatures fall to the ground. But now they're within combat range. Does someone have a spare? Can I borrow 20? I am now within range. They're going to fire their weapons. They're going to fire their arrows and their archery. 16. They take maybe. We're falling. Firing arrows down from the sky, they take out another 12 militia. Yes, their wave takes out another 12 militia, another dozen militia. Sully, you want to do your lead your charge again? What you got? Your Velociraptor is starting to make a little distance, but still full of fish. It's a bit sluggish. Yeah, Noah, you're up again. You ride. So the Solamnic Knights, mounted, charge behind you. Roll me charisma again. You plow into the first wave of goblins, but maybe take out another 15 goblins and a few humans, but the rest of the army is forming a shield wall, and now they're holding you at bay. Sully, you're up again. Your raptor is still puking as he's running. There are now maybe 200 people left in the village. Of 800. 100. So the 5 dragons come towards your location. If now is the time to leave. It's now.
I'm gonna let the girls leave, and
As the battle is unfolding, I'm going to roll for me again. I'm going to target the cavalry unit. Damn. The Draconians are fearful of these Solamnic knights. Their legend precedes them. Noah, you're up. With your cavalry? Alright. Your knights plow through the goblins and skewer them on their freaking lances, maybe sometimes 4 per lance. Goblin kebabs. But the dragons are coming back to your direction. Sully, roll me again. I want to give you this moment, man. Yeah. Here's mine.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Okay, your raptor jumps on. Okay, your raptor plows through the goblins and is clawing them to bits and bites the heads off a few of them and eats them. You may have taken out maybe 9. But as the dragons come back towards your location, they're going to breathe fire, Game of Thrones style, on these militia. Damn it! Failure. 11. So, this battle is going to a stalemate. The dragons come towards your location, but from the other side of the direction, you see another 5 dragons. But they aren't black, they're silver. And they're being ridden upon by Knights of the Order. Good knights. And they engage in a massive aerial battle. 2 dragons actually land next to Sully and Noah's character. Get on, boy. We need to get out of this village. Aya, what are you doing during this whole time? What are you doing during this whole battle? What do you want to do? What are you doing this whole battle? All right, you evacuate the village, and you get on the Ark. All right. Roll me one last charisma check. This is your last move. You get another 50 on board. And you jump aboard? All right. 180. Yeah. So you're all falling back, I assume. All right. Once again, you're fighting with like a badass and slaying cutting goblins' heads off like randomly. All right. Keep rolling me. You take out another few dozen. Your knights take out another line of goblins. All right. 21 goblins, yeah. You hear a loud horn. And overlooking the city, a giant wall and eruption of fire comes off out of the hill and destroys most of the city. And the dragon army starts to fall back. This was the distraction. There was something in the village they wanted. So, and with that, I'm gonna take a small break. I'll be right back with the drink.
like how I was still in the village, but I do I'm like
trying to do all of the things. Huh? No, I'm actually creating a schedule for the math advisors and trying to get all of their availabilities to cover all of these hours that need somebody there. So me having to work all of the hours. So far, I've put my name down for like 50 hours of work. Not good. I need to give it to somebody else because they get paid to. I do not get paid to cover it because it's part of the hours that I need to get covered. I would much rather pay them to be there than go myself. Really works a whole lot better when I can just pay them. I get budget to pay them to do it. If I don't use it, give me the budget to pay them to do it extra.
Explosive, yeah. No, you guys just got out of the bay just in time. Most of the village was destroyed. Yes. And the army that Noah was leading was ravaged. But they held their own. And coming off, a dragon lands right in front of Noah and Sully's character. A knight jumps off a golden dragon, pulls off his helm. It is a very gray-looking high elf with doesn't have a goatee, but he looks with black as fuck hair. He's like this very ageless looking high elf. He seems to have a smear on his face. Well done, villager. You managed to hold off a dragon army invasion. Well done. What is your name, boy? What is your name, boy? I am a commander of the Knight's Order. Speak to me with more respect. I've killed the demigods. Hmm. So, if as most of your unit was destroyed, well, we're taking the survivors back to our main citadel, the tower in far more inland towards the country. Our tower, our citadel. You're more than welcome to come with us and help us plan our next move. Both of you. And yes, I just split the party. Well, you see a giant blazing fireball coming off the hill. And you see a large, large ocean with rocks, few whales, dolphins jumping out. Roll me perception. No, there's nothing you can see. At least you can't see. Yeah. And I guess, and let me put it this way, you are the closest thing to a captain this barge has. You're the closest thing to a captain this ship has. There's a small gnomon navigator who approaches you. My lady, please, we must find our way to Paladine, the capital of the Empire. But here are my maps. But I am not terrible commanding people. Will you be the commanding officer of this ship and lead us to the Imperial Citadel? Roll me intelligence. You lead the ship in the opposite direction of the Empire. You head south to the Blood Sea. You start seeing large spikes and serpentine backs creatures going up and down the water and getting closer to your ship. Sea dragons. There are some explosive barrels aboard the ship. There's a trebuchet that could launch the burning barrels of the sea creature. There's a trebuchet that can throw explosive barrels at a sea monster. There are a few harpoons, yes. Yes. You have two burning. You have. Yes, all of the above. Roll me charisma. Here you go. He's mine. Roll again. Roll again. That doesn't count. Roll again. You get one more throw. You fail, and your villagers have no idea how to man this military equipment. And the sea serpent starts coming closer to your boat, and closer and closer. And it rises out of the sea, a giant serpentine neck full and head full of razor sharp teeth. You have one explosive barrel left. Roll me dexterity. 20. Ooh, It does speak Draconic. Now, you two, this is like Lord of the Rings. Party's been split. There's a small Gnomon scholar who knows the language. Roll me persuasion. $16. Oh, you got 16.
Modifiers and minus.
Oh, okay, alright. Well, you convince the sea serpent not to eat you right away, but you have 2 hours to get out of its territory or it will kill you. Head north, you'll reach the capital. I do not guide filthy humanoids. You have a cow down the and yes, you can sacrifice the cow. It will agree. You give it the cow. The sea serpent grabs it in one fell swoop. You hear a loud mooing sound and pain and yelping, and it's just blood is flowing down the sea serpent's mouth and teeth. Yes. I will guide you home. Meanwhile, 2 weeks. Let's just say all this stuff is going down the time span of 2 weeks. Noah, Sully, Hope, you arrive at the Citadel of the Solamnic Knights, a massive giant fortress and white spire rising out of a hilly plain / forested region, and under guard by several knights and watchtowers who are manning their positions. And your dragons land in the courtyard. What do you want to do? The knight commander snaps his finger, and two little hobbits / kinder, little child hobbit creatures, kender, approach you. We'll get you some new armor if you give us some food. Got any food? We'll help you, Orm. Get you some new armor if you give us any food. Got anything? Any rations? We don't eat human, boy. Approaching the knight says, "Get away, you little bastards! Get away, filthy little creatures you are!" And the kender fall back. And the knight says, "Sorry, they work in the kitchens. They're our staff. They're our kitchen staff. Let me take you to the central library." Do you guys want to go to the central library? What do you want to do? There's a local chapel located nearby. It's manned by a few gnomes, some Kender clerics who are giving a sermon, doing their rituals. You report in. Your order has a very small presence in this universe. There's not many worshippers of your god in this realm. Yes. The rest of them are the equivalent of, say, like deacons in a Lutheran church. They're like low-ranking clerics and parishioners, lay leaders. There is two paladins in the church guarding the holy relics. Multiverse travel is very tricky. Yes, a multiverse. D&D is a multiverse. Don't go there. I'm not being that meta. I'm not being that meta. You send the message, and there is a local like sky ship sailing for the multiverse. Okay, so in D&D, in between like realms, there's like a giant multiverse space astral sea. Think space pirates. Spelljammer. Think like Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet. Think like Treasure Planet. There will be a ship carrying reinforcements across the multiverse coming to your location. But it'll be like 2 months their time, which could be 2 weeks your time, or 2 years your time. Once again, D&D, timey-wimey. True. The Knight Commander approaches you in the chapel. What realm are you from, boy? You're from... Okay, you're from the Forgotten Realms. Let's go with that. You're from... not many of you not many of you people come here into this realm much anymore. You were in hell, weren't you? The gods have a plan for you. It's obvious. What it is, I don't know. I'm simply asking you forgiven. There's no need for elaborate ritual for redemption. There's no need for confessionals or acts of contrition. Very well. Hopefully he does. Hopefully your war god answers our prayers. So another couple days go by, and you're invited into the Grand Library, where the Knight Commanders greet you, and they inform you that the relic stolen from the village was an artifact that dates all the way back to the Cataclysm, when the gods were at war. It was kind of like an apocalyptic event in Krynn. Dragonlance is pretty much fantasy Fallout. It's a post-apocalyptic fantasy world. Instead of radiation, though, it's magical energy just run amok and everything's fucked up. The natural state of the universe is fucked up instead of it being radiation. And this relic the Dragon armies were after this relic because they seek to overthrow the forces of good and order in the world and return the lands of Krynn to a time of chaos and bloodshed and anarchy. And you realize the god who commands the Dragon army, is Tarkesis, another name for Tiamat. And she's aware you're in this realm. And there's no doubt they'll be sending forces after you. So, like, what are you doing this whole time? Are you in the library? Hope, what are you doing?
In the library reading.
Roll me a lore discussion. Roll me a lore check. Religion check.
My
17. That passes. You realize the relic you're looking for was split into two halves. The Dragon Army got one half. The other half is located in the Imperial capital. You're going to have to go all the way to the Imperial capital to receive the relic and make sure no one gets their hands on it. The Empire Salamnia, the local empire, will be manning its defenses and is building up its defenses for a new war with the dragon armies. Yes, go ahead.
I just go along. Just like, we're going after the guy called the bus. I found something. Apparently there is one in the town. So dragon who got the other relic. If you get the
And jumping out of the multiverse, Devin's character appears. Devin's Dragonborn appears on Io's boat. Devin, where you been this whole time in the multiverse? Did you get lost in hell?
Yeah, I got lost because I decided that today I was decided
The Church
I wanted to explore. I decided to fly around and explore the universe, and I got lost. Yes.
a flying unicorn?
Yes. I got lost. Flying unicorn.
Leave me off.
So, Devin, you went. What is your name, Io? What do you want your character's name to be? Scratch, okay.
Getting into a situation and I'm not sure what I am. Oh. I know where I am. Like at the moment.
Right. Let's say for you guys, you're sailing north.
Are we going to that island you said?
You're going to the Imperial capital.
Okay, by the help of. Well, I didn't ask the sea serpent's name. We still guided.
It's unpronounceable in your tongue.
Oh, okay.
It leads you out of the Blood Sea to the Northern Sea, and you're on the right path to the capital.
Oh, Ivana? Or like. I wanted to thank you for guiding us. And I was wanting to ask them if is there anything that I could
What?
have.
No, I'm good.
I wanted to ask if there's anything that I could have him to remind me of him because I owe a good deal.
He spits out a cow skull,
Oh, okay.
and then he spits out a magic book.
Oh, magic book.
Meanwhile, in your little while this is going on, a portal from hell opens. The face of Tiamat appears. You know not what you mess with, filthy mortals. You have foiled my plans long enough. Snaps its fingers. It screams. 5 dragon heads pop out of the portal. 5 dragon heads. They laugh at you. And jumping out of the portal are 5 Abashi. Dragon devils. Sure. And we're going to put you guys on hold. Scene shift back to them.
Okay.
You guys are making your way north. And you bump into a crew. You're probably a few hundred, 20 miles off the coast of the Imperial capital. You see a white gleaming city.
Are we still on the arc though?
Yes.
Okay. I want to find a person who I didn't give money to about for that cow. I wanted to get the money. How much is needed for them?
200 gold.
Oh my
You can pay him back in a favor.
God. Okay.
When you get to the Imperial,
Well, I give him.
you have to make. You have to be the ship's cook. You have to make a great meal. You and Deb.
Oh, okay.
You guys.
No, that's not what it said.
I have my paladins
Roll me charisma check.
I kind of would go for medicine, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, medicine because we're kind of making stuff.
19.
The paladins rush in, they get into a massive melee with the Abashi.
Like,
And more Abashi just keep coming through the portal. Think dragon-looking devil creatures.
Have no fear.
how are we gonna make it?
We have the faith
Don't
of our God.
take it down next time.
Yeah, and then jumping through the portal is a giant red dragon.
Guessing we're using this on the ship.
And that's where we end today's game.
Huh? What? Die?
Massive cliffhanger.
Oh, we're done.
Okay.